Good afternoon. This is JC, St. Louis's oldest living hippie, and I want to bring you an afternoon update. This update is from The Lever, Lever, or The Lever, however they pronounce it. It is a news letter that I get in the email, and I want to bring you up to date on three topics they covered in their newsletter. I get newsletters from all kinds of different groups and news organizations. That's how I can bring you different tidbits of news and whatnot to kind of keep you up to date. So I would appreciate you subscribing to me and following me on TikTok and Substack and Facebook and YouTube because I put stuff on there, all those platforms, Blue Sky sometimes too, but not all the time. And there are different platforms. I may put different stuff on one and I don't put on the other. So anyway, I can be found at sign THE, I'm sorry, at sign JCTHEHIPPIE. So the first thing I'm going to talk about here are the conflicts of interest waived for the top U.S. medical official. What this is going to be, and I'll read it to you, is the dirty low-life son of a bitch who's deciding whether you can get Medicaid or whatnot, is a official associated with a big medical conglomerate, but he got a waiver to become the top medical official in the United States. The second is how we are showing our scourge for data centers. Data centers, if there's one coming to your community, stand up and fight, go out and protest, stop it some way. If they want to put data centers, okay, Trump, you got Venezuela. I hate to do it to the people of Venezuela, but if you're going to run Venezuela, put it down there in the jungle somewhere. They got the rivers, they got everything that's needed. We don't need it in our neighborhoods. And then it says, I don't know if I'm going to skip this one or not. It says there's a potential toxic grounding by the Environmental Protection Agency. But the one that I really want you to see is the lobbying that came before the Venezuela storm. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down here. It says today's nuggets. It says the profiteer will see you now. Guess who that is? The chief regulator overseeing the distribution of Medicaid and federal child health benefits has received a conflict of interest waiver for his family's financial ties to the healthcare industry. And by the way, Trump just said that he's going to stop all of the child care funding for any blue states and blue cities. He said that yesterday. It was on the news. Okay. So, in records obtained by the Lever, Dan Brillman, the deputy administrator at the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services and director of Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program, was granted an exception from the conflicts of interest law related to his wife's ongoing stake in Muse Capital, a venture fund that invests primarily in healthcare technology companies and which she consults for. So there you go. His motherfucking wife. I'm sure they sleep next to each other. They have pillow talk. I'm sure he's listening to her. I don't give a damn whether he has any interest and he got a special waiver. She is poking shit in his ear that she thinks he ought to do. And that motherfucker's probably listening to her. It says Brillman, who until his appointment served as CEO of the healthcare software firm Unitas. It recently made headlines for ending the mandatory collection of critical childhood vaccine data from the states in line with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's rollback of the same childhood immunization recommendations. Well, that's Robert Kennedy Jr., that dumb son of a bitch. He's so fucking stupid. His head's like a piece of granite. You would take a sledgehammer and you could hit it and it probably wouldn't crack it because it's that fucking hard. That dumbass has no medical training, knows nothing about and vaccinations and how they help children. I am 78 years old. If it weren't for vaccinations, I wouldn't be here because I lived through polio. Okay. And if it weren't for the polio vaccinations, your children would still be having polio today. And polio was killing millions of kids a year when I was young. So think about that. Think about vaccinations. Think about smallpox, measles. The German measles is one of the worst diseases you could ever have next to polio. And if you've nothing else, get your fucking kids vaccinated against the German measles. Whooping cough and smallpox too. All right, now the next thing is protect our grids. This topic is on the data centers. Opposition to the energy draining, polluting supercomputer data centers powering the artificial intelligence boom is reaching an all-time high. From April to June last year, communities in the United States shut down or delayed the construction of at least 20 data center projects totaling $98 billion. More than the previous 2 years combined. 66% of protested development projects tracked by Data Center Watch in the second quarter were successfully disrupted. And here's why. Data centers can consume as much as 1.7 trillion gallons of water by 2027. And they consume 4% of all of the U.S. electricity consumption. The example is from the year 2024. And that's projected to be 8% by 2030. All right, I'm going to skip the disaster response here and go down. And I'm going to go, I guess it ended there. Let me see if I can find it. I guess that's going to be it because the other thing I wanted to talk about, I have to remember what it is. So I'll go back up here. Today's nuggets and Brillman Project Protect Our Grids. And I guess the last thing is the disaster, which I don't need to talk about. This thing's long enough anyway. Protest data centers, call for the resignation of Robert Kennedy Jr., and call for the resignation of Dan Brillman. These fools are ruining health care for our families and our children and for the poor and middle class in the United States. This is JC saying, fuck them all. And to all of you that I love, Pax Amor, Jack, and keep